All right, so if you didn't know, Yeat is finally dropping his album. I think it's been like almost a year. It's been a long time. He hasn't gone this far without dropping an album in a I don't think he has actually. I don't think he's gone this far in like since like he started almost, which is kind of crazy to think about. It's been a year since Afterlife dropped, and it looks like, you know, he's at that stage in his career where he no longer needs to drop 3 tapes. Like 2021, 2022, this guy was applying pressure. In 2021, he dropped 4 projects. 2022, he dropped 3 projects. 2023, he dropped 1. I think this year he's also going to drop 1. And I just wanted to talk about it because, you know, this is a new frontier for Yeat. You know, Yeat has shown that he could sell 30K. He's shown that he could sell 55K first week. I think his first album sold 36K, and then Afterlife sold 55K, which is like monumental for someone who has his sound. Like, it's pretty crazy, but not insane because of his TikTok numbers. So let's go over what he's kind of teased, where I think that how well the album's gonna do, and does he still have it? Does Yeat still have that it factor? Does he still have aura? Let's get into it. Okay, so the other day Yeat posted on Instagram, 2093 is coming. He's posted some snippets in the past. I can't play them, copyright, you know the drill. But it was some interesting stuff. One was a picture of him in a private jet. The other one was him in a studio with Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. That's going to be kind of interesting to hear. I'm not a big fan of his music. I like his acting career, so his acting stuff. But, you know, he posted a picture of him and Drake both wearing like a fur coat. I think he's wearing a beanie too. I'm not sure. He's wearing like he's reading like a newspaper. He posted a picture of his new chain from Alex Moss, which is like crazy. It looks like something an emperor would have worn back in the day. I think he also brought back the beanie. If you're like, I wouldn't say OG Yeat fan, but you know, a Yeat fan from back in the day, you'd know that this guy, like, him and his beanie were inseparable. And his turban, which he posted in another picture, that also came back. But I guess he did it in a more fashionable way this time. Back then, it was actually cooler back then, in my opinion, but it's still cool now. And he posted like some, I wouldn't say billboards, but just like promotion for his album on like a building and on Hollywood and stuff like that. So, you know, he's a big dog now, you know what I mean? He's competing with the Sharks, and it's time for him to really prove himself. And I think like if he sells 50K, that'll be all right. But I think he has the potential to sell 50K plus. I think he's on like an upwards trend, and he'll probably sell like 60 to 100K. Like, I would be pretty surprised if he sold 100. Not surprised. I'd be like, wow. But I wouldn't be that surprised. There is one worrying thing though. I don't believe that Yeat has. So what happened in the past was he would drop the album and all the sounds would just start going viral on TikTok. However, if you don't know, Universal Music Group just banned all their artist music from TikTok, and Yeat and TikTok are like bacon and eggs, you know, they go hand in hand, you know what I mean? So without TikTok, he's gonna be, it's like he's missing a leg or something. Like it's like he's injured. It's like he's, you know what I mean? And his label really nerfed him, by the way. Like they really nerfed him, but you know, it is what it is. The thing about Yeat and TikTok though, because in the beginning everyone was like, man, this is a TikTok rapper, he's not gonna last, sorry about that. Then he had Mad About That, then he had a couple other songs, Get Busy, and people were like, this is just like a little trend. The thing about Yeat is he was just so consistent. He dropped a song, it would go viral on TikTok. He dropped an album, half the songs would go viral on TikTok. They would just keep going viral on TikTok, and he just proved everyone wrong. And he went viral so many times. I would go as far to say as, you know, or not as far as to say, it basically came to the point where he no longer was a TikTok rapper. He was a bona fide mainstream rapper with a strong fan base. Another thing about Yeat's fan base that a lot of people are kind of don't pay attention to is the branding that he used, or like the techniques that he used while kind of like branding his fan base. Like he created a bunch of like signature to him that made people feel part of a community. You know, similar rappers that do this are, you know, like Drain Gang, and you know, there are more, but I'm just gonna go deeper into Yeat. So he had his own lingo, Twizzy, Schmunk. Like at one point there was like this whole like Twizzy dictionary, and he would post like the most random, like it would just be like mumbo jumbo. I'm not even like hating, you know, you'd all agree with me, and people would be posting on Reddit and his fan pages, yo, decipher this, what does Yeat mean? He'd say random things like, my name isn't Noah, it's Schmunky. I remember this one time someone asked him what Miney is, and he said like mini, but he meant mini, but he would just say Miney. He would just like say the most random stuff ever, and it would just be funny, you know what I mean? Of course he has stuff like Twizzy, Tonka isn't really like he didn't start it, but he made it his own. He had the turbans, or they're not really turbans, but you know, the little scarf around his head. He had the beanie. He had created this whole like brand, like real brand, and you know, kids, mostly suburban kids, would, I wouldn't say they relate to it, but they'd want to be a part of that community or whatnot, and that's what just exponentially grew his fan base. And it's like super underrated because, you know, Yeat could have done everything he did and just not done that, and I don't think he would have had as many fans because it's not as easy to break personality as it is your music. As crazy as it sounds, you know, not everyone has the it factor, and Yeat had that it factor, or has that it factor, you know what I mean? So his album, I've heard a couple of the snippets. I think they're cool. You know, some people are like, man, this is out of this world, this is alien-like, and I don't know, you know, until you hear the real thing, it's hard to say, unless the snippet is crazy. But the way Yeat previews snippets is he'll post it on Instagram for like 5 seconds or like a minute or 2 minutes or on a story or something, and then it'll be taken down, and it'll be like it'll be like recorded from like a phone in like a corner of the room, and the speakers will be on the other side, and you'll hear it, or sometimes it'll be better quality, you know what I mean? But it's usually pretty good. What I would say is it sounds like Afterlife on steroids. It sounds like he's evolved the sound. It sounds like him and Benny X, and I think Geo got bands, I forget that, I think that's his other one of his other main producers, maybe Tragic too, have like really, but especially Benny X, by the way, that guy's going on a rampage in the industry. Like every week there's a new song by like a big artist produced by Benny X. He's definitely getting the bag too, but him and Benny X have definitely created like this unique chemistry, and it sounds like they're leaning into it, and that's what his new album 2093 is supposed to sound. Other than that, let's talk about like the whole image of the album. You know, 2093, you know, you put 2 and 2 together, or you put 20 and 93 together, I'm so funny. But you know, it's supposed to be futuristic, so I think a lot of the beats are gonna sound like alien sounding. You know, Yeat's always had this thing where he said, I think I'm alien, I'm not from this world for real. When I was little, you can look it up, he literally went on an interview and was like, yeah, when I was little I saw aliens. They told me not to tell anyone though, or say too much, so that's all I can say. And obviously that's a little joke, it's a little, you know, just tidbit, but he likes that sound, he wants to cater to that sound. So I think 2093 is just gonna sound different, and not different as in his old stuff. By the way, like a lot of people are gonna be like, man, I miss the old Yeat. But if Yeat kept making the old Yeat music, you know, I feel like I just a couple years ago started to get this, because I was one of those kids. I was like, man, go back to your old sound. Like, and then a couple years passed and their new sound became the old sound. I would be like, oh, I actually kind of like that. And then I had like this epiphany. So, you know, Yeat, he's not gonna go back to his old sound. He's not gonna go back to those like, sorry about that, or you know what I mean, that triple hi-hat type of pattern and stuff. He's gonna do his new thing, and it seems good. On top of that, like, it looks like, I don't know, I saw someone say Yeat and Lana Del Rey might be a thing. He's definitely putting a collab with Drake on there. Like, that's confirmed for sure. He's like super close. He's managed by one of Drake's best friends. I think his name is Zach Bia. He's like a DJ and fashion guy. So he's cool with like the OVO camp for sure. There's probably gonna be like a Young Thug, maybe not, I don't know if there's gonna be a Young Thug feature, but there's probably gonna be like some other big features. So I feel like everyone is gonna check out this album. There's only one thing though: if Yeat flops, it is so over for him. Like, people switch up so fast these days, and it's almost like you make one wrong move, and it's like, oh man, you can just kill so much hype. Someone we've seen this from recently is Playboi Carti. Like, he just made a couple of wrong moves. He dropped a little too many singles, unreleased singles. Like, obviously I'm not complaining, but like for the hype I'm talking about. And he made that wrong move on the Aiden Ross thing, and you know, the allegations are starting to like simmer up. You know, people aren't just they're not just like turning their heads away anymore. You know, what I mean is that your public perception, your reputation is super, it's very fickle these days. So, you know, he's gotta play his cards right, but I think he will. The other thing is, he's not mysterious, and I'm glad he's not mysterious. Like, oh my god, thank god this guy like isn't, but he is like tucked away, and you can tell it's natural and not forced. So I feel like, you know, if you've been kind of stepped away from the spotlight, it's not like he's been inactive. You know, you haven't been active as in dropping new music. The leaks have slowed down. Like, your fans, they're waiting, and you disappoint them, it's not gonna be good. However, I don't think that's gonna happen, because one thing about Yeat is he's consistent. So anyways, thanks for watching, have a nice day, see you next time, bye Twizzies.